Good evening. So this is the series of quantum numbers on your fingertips where we discuss the quantum mechanical atomic model and all information regarding quantum numbers. This is video number 2 of the series where we will be talking about quantum numbers in detail. In video 1 we have discussed that the quantum mechanical model of the atom says that an electron in the atom is found inside the orbital, which is a 3D space. Okay. Now to describe that electron inside the orbital, we have 4 sets of numbers called quantum numbers which help us to describe those electrons. So the first quantum number is called the principal quantum number and is denoted by n. Okay, so this is called principal quantum number denoted by small n. Okay, what does the principal quantum number says? It gives info of the shell, which shell the electron is in. Now we told you that orbital is found in a subshell, which is found ultimately in an orbit or a shell. So the shell number where the electron is found is given by the principal quantum number. Okay, it also describes the energy of electron in a shell, of electron in the shell. To a large extent, the energy information is also given by the principal quantum numbers. Okay, one more thing, principal quantum number gives the shell, which we already know are denoted by K, L, M, N, etc. Okay, so these shells are denoted by K, L, M, N and so on. So from this we can derive one information, that the K shell is the first shell, so the principal quantum number will be 1. For L it is 2, for M it is 3, and for N it is 4 and so on. Okay, this is fine. We can denote the shell with KLMN, we can denote the shell with 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Okay, whichever is the choice. So these are both the options for denoting the shell number. Alright, now let's talk about, for example, I am talking about the M shell. So I'll take the example of M shell. So if I talk about the M shell, I get one information, that the principal quantum number value is 1 for the M shell. Okay, this is one thing. Now from this principal quantum number alone, I can determine two more things. Number of orbitals, which are given by n square. That means 1 is the number of orbitals. And I can also determine the number of electrons, which is given by 2n square, which means 2 into 1 is 2. So this is electrons. Okay, so hence we can derive lot of information about the electron in an atom or in an orbit by the principal quantum number alone. Principal quantum number will give you the value of the shell and the energy. This shell can be used to derive the number of orbitals, which is equal to shell square or n square. Okay, principal quantum number square. One orbital can only accommodate 2 electrons. This is according to a principle called Pauli's exclusion principle, which you will understand in the upcoming videos. This formula also will be taken up in one of the next videos. And maximum electrons hence in a shell can be 2n square, which is 2 into principal quantum number square, which here in this case becomes 2. Okay, so from this we can derive so much of information. These 2 points will be clearer when we take up the Pauli's exclusion principle in my next video. Okay. Now with the help of principal quantum number, as we all know, we can determine the energy as well. The calculation for energy is not given in the book, but there is a formula which I'll just quickly note down here, that energy in the principal quantum number level is given by -2 pi square energy to the power of 4 principal quantum number square upon n square h square. Okay, this is the formula which we use for energy of an electron from the principal quantum number. So here what I get is this n is the principal quantum number. Okay, is the concept here. So this formula based numericals won't be asked, no need to worry for that. Just for information I have given this formula. Alright, now coming on to the next quantum number, which is the azimuthal quantum number. This is called azimuthal quantum number. I'll write Qn for quantum number. Now this azimuthal quantum number is also called angular quantum number or angular momentum. Angular momentum. It is also called as subsidiary quantum number. Okay, so you can be given a question regarding angular quantum number also, or subsidiary, or azimuthal. Now this azimuthal quantum number is denoted by, it's denoted by L. Okay, now from the principal quantum number n, we can derive the azimuthal quantum number with the formula L is equal to 0 to n minus 1. This is our formula. 0 to n minus 1 is the formula for L from the known value of n. Okay, let me take an example, you will understand. So suppose I have here example, I have n is equal to 2. I have to find L here. Find L. So 0 to n minus 1, that means 0 to 2 minus 1, that means 1. So what are the values of L? 0 and 1. Okay, so two values of L are possible, which is 0 and 1. Two values are possible. Clear? Now, coming forward now to the next part. Similarly, any value of n if I am giving, I can get the value of L. Now the value of L also help us actually, what is the role of this angular azimuthal quantum number? The role is, it helps us to find out the subshell. Okay, subshell value and its energy is given by the azimuthal quantum number. Okay, hence what we can derive, if I have principal quantum number 2, I can have two subshells, okay, which can be subshell 0 or subshell 1. Now for here there is one table which we need to remember. 4 values actually are important. If I have subshell denotation, this is what I am talking about, subshell denotation. If I have L value here and I have to denote the subshell, just like for 1 I denoted the K shell in the case of principal. If I have L0, L1, L2, L3, L4, etc. and so on. For L0 the subshell is called S. Subshells begin from S, shells begin from K. Okay, S subshell, P subshell, 1 becomes P subshell, 2 becomes D subshell, and 3 becomes F subshell. These are most important, and so on, G and so on will be the values. So this is important. What we need to remember here is only this, SPDF. If the L value corresponds to 0, then I have S subshell. If L value corresponds to 1, then I have P subshell. If it is 2, I have D subshell. If it is 3, I have F subshell, and so on. So hence what I can derive is, if I have n is equal to 2, I can have two subshells which will be S and which will have P. Okay, I can have S subshell, I can have P subshell with the shell number 2. That means your L shell can give me a S subshell and a P subshell. This is fine. Now moving on to the next quantum number, which is your magnetic quantum number. Okay, so coming on to magnetic quantum number. Now this magnetic quantum number is denoted by ml. Okay, not milliliters, mind it, it's ml, which denotes the magnetic quantum number. Now what does magnetic quantum number tell us? The magnetic quantum number actually helps us to find out the orbital. Okay, magnetic quantum number helps us to find out the orbital. Orbital designation. Orbital also helps us to determine the kind of orbital it will be. Kind of the orbital. Oh, there is one information which I forgot to give you here. The L value, azimuthal quantum number, also helps us to determine the shape of subshell and orbital. Okay, that's given by the L value, the shape. Okay, so we were discussing about the ML, which is the magnetic quantum number. It helps us to define the orbital. Okay, Now what is the value of ml? How to calculate ml? This we will take as ml is equal to all values from minus L to N. This is the formula. Understand with an example? So for example, I have N is equal to 2. ये मेरे पास है, यानी which subshell am I talking about? So for 2, D subshell, as we just did, D subshell I am talking about. So if I have the D subshell, what are the possible ml values? Minus L to L, that means minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1 and your 2. So how many values are possible? 5 values are possible. That means, as I told you, magnetic quantum number gives us the number of orbitals and the kind of orbitals which will be there. 5 values means how many orbitals? 5 orbitals. So what I can infer from this is that the D subshell has 5 orbitals. Okay. Now one more thing, as we have already done, one orbital can only accommodate 2 electrons. So one orbital means 2 electrons. So how many electrons can accommodate in the D subshell? 5 into 2. So if I have to calculate the number of electron, it is 5 into 2, which is 10 electrons in the D subshell. Clear? This is how you will calculate. So hence, let us revise. Magnetic quantum number gives the value of ml to L, minus L to L, okay, which will include all the values between them and including them. Magnetic quantum number helps us to give us the specific orbital and also the kind of orbital which is there, and depends on the azimuthal quantum number. Now one more thing to ease your calculations. See, we have to expand to get the number of 5 values here. Total orbitals possible, total orbitals is also given by the formula of 2L plus 1. If you have to write all the orbitals, then use minus L to L. But if you have to just write this value, use the formula of 2L plus 1. Okay. Now how to go about this? Suppose here also I have L is equal to 2. What are the values? 2 into 2 plus 1, which is 5. Okay. How does this formula come? Is 2L plus 1 formula के लिए we have to go back to minus L to L. Minus L to L was the value for all the orbitals which were there. Now suppose if I have a number and it's negative and I have to take both, I'll multiply by 2. For example, I have to take minus 2 to 2. That means I will take minus के side में 2 number, I'll multiply it by 2, and plus के side में वही 2 number, I'll multiply it by 2. Minus 2 से 2 में I have, this is how I denote them, I have minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1 and 2. So here I know I have the same number and it's negative repeated twice, so I'll multiply it by 2. Okay, and I'll add the exceptional number which is 0. So say 2L plus 1 formula has come. This is the basic mathematics. Now from this, if I need to calculate the number of electrons, orbitals into 2, so electrons will be 2 into 2L plus 1, because orbitals can accommodate 2 electrons at most. So electrons from this formula will become 4L plus 2. Okay, here were 10 electrons, I substituted here 4 into 2 plus 2, 8 plus 2 is 10. Okay, so if you have to expand, then use this method. If you have to just write the value, use this formula directly, will save time. Okay, in case of larger numbers. So let us move to the last quantum level now, quantum number, sorry, now is the spin quantum number. Fourth one is spin quantum number. Now good news is that here there is no such formula. Okay, there is directly to remember. Now this, first of all, let's understand what it is. Spin quantum number is denoted by ms. Okay, and this actually helps us to define the electrons. We are actually going down a hierarchy. This gives electrons. Principal ने दिया shell, azimuthal gives the subshell, okay, magnetic gives the orbital, and what does spin give? Electron. So all the information in a hierarchy we are doing, electrons. Now this one thing we know, that one orbital, if I have one orbital, how many electrons will be there? Two electrons will be there. So this spin quantum number actually explains us about differentiating the 2 electrons. हमें हर electron को describe करना है quantum level से. So spin quantum number will help us to give the value of the 2 electrons, जिससे हम उनको differentiate कर सके same orbital में. Now spin says that out of these 2 electrons in an orbital, one has a clockwise spin and one has, spin means rotation, anti-clockwise. ओके स्पिन कहता है कि इलेक्ट्रॉन क्लॉकवाइज भी घूम सकता है या एंटी क्लॉकवाइज. दिस इज हाउ बोथ द इलेक्ट्रॉन्स विल बी डिफरेंट. क्लॉकवाइज घूमेगा तो इसकी वैल्यू होगी प्लस हाफ. ओके प्लस हाफ. एंड इफ इट इज मूविंग ऑन एंटी क्लॉकवाइज, okay, it will get the value of minus half. For denoting clockwise an electron, electrons are denoted by arrows in the arrow diagram of electronic configuration. I'll make a video on that also, so don't worry. That is given by a upward arrow and this is given by a downward arrow. So hence the electrons, the description of the electron we can get using the spin quantum number ms. Okay. Alright, now just one more information here. So as I told you in the beginning, the quantum numbers are actually used to describe an electron in an atom. How will they do it? First of all, I will denote that electron is present in which shell. Then I will denote electron is present in which subshell. That will be given by L. Then I will be denoting the shape of the subshell, can be given by L. Then I will be denoting which orbital, it is given by Ml. But one orbital has two electrons. I have to differentiate between both of them. So understand which electron I am talking about. Given by ms, spin quantum number. So hence these quantum numbers uniquely identify an electron in an atom and hence explain the quantum model accurately. This was not done in the Bohr model and hence is a limitation again of the Bohr model. Fine. So stay tuned for the next video which will be based on how to describe electrons and how to work upon with the quantum numbers, and soon very exciting mind-jerking questions will be also taking up on quantum numbers. So stay tuned with the playlist. I'll be uploading all the videos there with the name of quantum numbers on your fingertips. Okay, thank you and stay safe.